Hello and welcome everyone to Mental Health Unfiltered by Ikshanaa. Today we have a special guest, Miss Tanya Gadani, and we are going to talk about a life of a 26-year-old female.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here, and thanks for having me at Mental Health Unfiltered by Ikshanaa.
So she's done aeronautical engineering and logistics and supply chain management.
Yeah, for
Masters in logistics and supply chain management. And we are very glad to welcome her to our podcast. So, Tanya, could you tell us a little bit about, how you got to this, to taking logistics and supply chain management, to taking aeronautical engineering?
So when I was basically in college, you can say, so I was more inclined to physics and mathematics. I'm more like a techie sort of a person. I'd always been studious all my life, so that just, and also watching a lot of videos of how airplanes are built and getting into the depth of it. So then in college I was like, this is a nice field to pursue, and not many, I've not seen many Indians who actually know what this field is, because this is not quite developed yet. It's like in under development
Exactly.
in India right now. So it's quite booming now, to be very honest. In a couple of years, we have had so many new airlines, you can say, and India's been doing so well in the space sector as well. So this has always been some it has sparked an interest in me. So that's what I thought, like, I should go ahead with this, and it turned out to be good.
Specifically, and how did you come across aeronautics?
So this is what I used to watch a lot of videos related to airplanes, and every time, like the first time I've ever sat in an airplane, I've always thought, like, how does this thing work? How do we actually fly in the air? Like how does all of this happen, like the aerodynamics and everything. So later on, that sparked an interest, and it kept increasing. And then I finally spoke. My parents were very open about it, like whatever career I wanted to pursue. So some parents are like, engineering or doctor, like, but my parents were quite open to it. But I always
also this is also engineering only, sort of.
Yes, this is engineering, and I was anyway interested in that field. So I chose that. I went ahead with it. It was 4 years of engineering, quite interesting. Thermodynamics, aerodynamics.
So did you find a lot of women in this field?
It was not many women, I must say, but it was also like, it was very new, so there were also people who did not know what this field was, but it was just sounding very different, and people just joined in to pursue engineering in this field. So there were some of those cases as well. But yes, overall you can say, like, out of a whole class bunch of 60, around 20-25 were females. Not quite less also, it was okay. So anyway, so then I pursued with this, and towards the end of end of my 4th year, so that's when I came across these two subjects, specifically operations research and optimization. So that is like core mathematics and statistics, and a lot of strategy planning, so all of that involved. So I realized, like, I was pretty good at it, and that's something I could make a career in ahead. So then I chose logistics and supply chain, and there are also fields like aerospace logistics. So all of that, it was very narrowed down. So as I kept completing my studies, that's when so
you understood your niche.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's how I landed in London, where I did my masters in logistics and supply chain. And talking about work after that, so as you can say, as I would say, like, outside India it is quite difficult to get a job. So then I started off with operations at Christian Dior, and that is one good opportunity I got that time. It was not, of course, it was very different from an aero related company,
Right.
but then it was still operations. So I went for it, like at least
For the
I'll get
experience.
like a little bit of clearer picture, because studying that and doing that practically is two very different things.
So today we're going to discuss about challenges faced by a 26-year-old female in the Indian society. The most common thing that comes to mind right now is the kind of pressures women are facing, especially at this age, 25, 26, 27 onwards.
Yes, I know where this is going, I'm sure. Uh,
So,
yeah,
would you want to talk about it?
yeah, sure. So basically, the most kind of pressure that is put on a 25, 26, 27-year old, especially in our Indian society, is marriage. And the before marriage, the talks, the discussions. So basically, that.
So, what do you think is more suitable, to wait until you're settled, until, you have everything set, you have a good partner set who is, well settled in life, or, to first get married and then focus on the other things?
So I would say there are different kind of people, different kind of mentalities. So so basically, it's like some of them, they are more inclined on, in today's generation especially, they're more inclined on becoming independent first, having a career growth. Maybe obviously you can't get settled, just at the age of 26. That is, like, I'm talking about the majority of the people, the majority of the females. But we can at least, start our jobs, get permanent in a good company, or set our businesses and go on some trial and errors and figure out, like, what goes best for you. And then you can, like, maybe you should go ahead with thinking about getting settled with someone. And there are other type of people also, other type of females who they would not, they're not maybe very career oriented, not to take a dig at anyone, but they just want to, like, they just want to get settled. They want someone, who can take care of the family later on, and they won't have to worry about any, problems or anything, and financially, of course. So there are different perspectives,
But
different kind of
yeah,
people.
there's another perspective to this also, that if even if they are, say, settling down first, like they're getting married 1st, it does not mean that they cannot work on their careers later. I know
Yes.
it gets difficult. It's difficult to balance everything after you get married, because there are added responsibilities, added expectations from people.
Yep.
But I think that that could also be a good option for people, like, to focus on the career, and it's actually a personal choice.
Yes,
Of
yes,
course.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, like if you would ask me, I would personally prefer to first settle down, because that gives me the liberty to do things,
Yes, exactly,
easier.
your way, and you don't have a lot of weight on your shoulders, because people say that, your life is not going to change after you get married, but that's not necessarily true, because some or the other way, you have guests coming over, say, or you have, you have chores to do in the day to day basis, like see what time is the maid coming, is your work getting done, is your cook coming on time, are you getting the tiffin, say, for your work on time. So you have to take care of the whole household, and then you have people, like the next pressure that is put on you quite quickly is the family pressurizing you for a kid. So there are a lot of things, but all of this mostly doesn't come in the way before your marriage. So you have like a lot of time to only focus on your career and try to settle it
Correct.
sooner.
To give you an example, I have a friend who has been, struggling with the same issue.
Okay.
So she got married, say, in the beginning of 2024. Until now, she's not been able to find that ample amount of time for herself to, to focus on some career-oriented activity.
Yes.
And it's not like she's occupied with doing household chores or something. It's just that she is so many festivals she has to attend, like from both the sides, that it gets difficult for her to balance things out.
Exactly, festivities and meeting relatives and their functions, and you have to take care of being there in both the sides function, your side and
Exactly.
your in-law side as well. So that, and plus there is like a honeymoon phase, and nowadays we can see people are going on a couple of months honeymoon. So
yes.
so that too. So there are a lot of things that come in your way, which you haven't even imagined
Correct.
that would be the case.
Right, yeah. So women these days, it's difficult these days. What, it's been like forever, since forever it's been difficult for women to choose their career paths. They have to consider so many factors just before that. One, to the societal factor that we've discussed. Then it comes to the safety factor. I see mostly women do not go for most manpower businesses or manpower work,
Right.
because that is where it is dominated by men. And it's not like, it may not be because they cannot do it, but it's also somewhere this safety factor comes into place, that it's dominated by men, and then a lot of women are not going to be there when you're going to work. So it just gets divided.
Right.
Like, if you if you ask a 5-year-old like what they want to be, in fact lower, like a smaller kid, say a 3-year-old, what they want to be, their careers or their perspective is not segregated in such a way, what career they want to take.
Yeah.
But as and when the child grows older,
Yeah.
like say 8-10 years old, and they develop this understanding of gender roles,
Yeah.
that is where the career choices clearly get segregated.
Right. So basically, what I have also noticed where I'm working right now, so there are a lot of there is still majority of male people who are working there, and then there are lesser of females. But now what I've noticed is that the multinational companies, they are actually going for this equality, where 50% of the men and 50% of the women. So that is a very good thing to begin with. So obviously it is still a ratio of 70-30, but it is kind of like matching up. Even when they're hiring and everything, they are like
So
giving
have you
more.
noticed this in your work life?
Yes.
Any kind
I-
of change?
It would not be as a complete change, I would say, but because the work environment I am in, the company, it's amazing. The work environment is very positive, and the work timings also, they are like very chill. You have a very good.
Have you faced any kind of discrimination?
No, but I have seen that the majority of the managers are men.
Okay. So the glass ceiling effect is there.
Yes.
Like you've noticed
somewhere.
that.
It's not out in the open, it's not very obvious, but it is there. It's
Like,
you can see it. Like, there are mostly men managers, and there are mostly, seniors who are also men. So there are jobs where, you have to go to the customers' companies and you have to stay there. So a woman can also do that. So in
Right.
these cases, like, at least those who are open to, going there and working, or going there and, putting their project ahead, forward to the customers, so that a woman also can do this. So I've seen
but
that
again,
mostly men are going there
but
instead of
again, the
women.
societal barriers come in. The women cannot, like, easily decide.
Yeah.
Like, some women can do that, and kudos to that. Like,
Yeah.
that's really nice. You're really doing what your heart says.
Right.
So, but then there are so many women who have to consider a lot of factors, especially, once they have a child, or once
Right.
they are.
So this is mostly, I would be describing my age, who are not married yet. So they are also, like, who
It is
is on a
easier.
good level,
Yeah.
who knows how to, interact with the customers, who have the same, the same level colleagues who are men, but they are
Skills.
chosen and we are not chosen to go there,
Correct.
even when we're open to it. So I'm mentioning my age group.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's also somewhere very subconscious level. Like, people may not intend to do this. Like, people may not intend to just pick a man.
Yeah.
But it could be done on a very subconscious level.
Yes.
That, कि हाँ ये कर लेगा.
कर लेगा, correct.
But then that thought is not yet developed. कि अच्छा ये भी कर लेगी.
Yes, exactly. Right. And maybe even better so at it. So
Correct.
that's there.
Yes. So I would like to ask you about female friendships. So, like, how, not only female friendship for that matter, like, how has it changed over the years? Like, right from the school age to, when you go to college, and now when you start working.
That's a very good topic, very interesting topic to talk. I'd say when we're kids, I'd like to give an example, like, my friend, who met me in college, and me. So my friend, she was like a day scholar, should go to school and come back home.
Oh, yes, you were in a boarding school.
Yes.
So, just tell us something about the boarding school also before we go to this.
Right. So I have basically spent 5 years till 10th in a boarding school. So I've noticed that, people who I've met in college, they are who have not been in a boarding school or anything, they're not in touch with their school friends. But for me, it's like very surprising, because I am like so close to them. They're like my best of friends even now, and it's like now it's like for life. They're like more like family now, because I've continuously stayed with them for the whole day, in and out, for 5 years.
Right.
So
Practically growing up together.
So that sort of friendship hits different. And on the other hand, as soon as you grow up, it's like you know how you are as a person, what your behavior is like. You look for friends who are like you, who are, we are very fast at judgment when it comes to someone who you don't hit it off in the first go, you don't vibe with, you don't click with. So once you've crossed that, say 10th, 11th, 12th maybe, after that your patience level keeps reducing. That's what I feel. And your group also becomes narrower, and only a few who you can vibe with, only those stay in your life. And other than that, it's like just okay, they're just there for some time and they come and go. There have been so many people like that who have entered my life and they have gone away. Some have been like very shocking, and some I have just fallen out of friendship with, maybe after college got over or something.
And also,
like
it's
that.
not like all school friendships are gonna stay.
Yeah.
And somewhere, I think it's over the period of time we learn to accept that it's okay.
Yes,
It's
yes.
okay to lose people. It's
Initially
okay
it
to.
hurts because you want to keep bonding with everyone, you want to be there with everyone, and you want your social life to be, of course, big. But as you grow older, then you just let all of that go, and you're like, okay, fine, whoever is there in my life, like they're the real deal, and the remaining ones are like, they were just there just to give you an experience.
Yeah, and it's like whenever they were there, like whatever period of time, it was good.
Yeah.
So that particular time was for them, and then it's not meant to be, maybe. Or
Right.
like, it's time to move on.
Yeah, correct.
And it does happen a lot.
Yeah.
Especially when the bond is so strong.
Yep.
And it has to suddenly, you have to part ways.
Yeah. Right.
Especially in female friendships. Like, it's not spoken about a lot.
Right. I don't think that, because I was in an all girls boarding school, so those friends that I have made, I don't think after that I have found it very easy to make female friends. I don't know, this is very strange, but that's the truth, I think. We end up, vibing and clicking with the guy friends faster. I don't
Right.
understand. I still don't know why and how, but that is the case.
I think, what I have like thought of, like, this is the explanation I've given myself.
Please.
So is that, when you try to make new friends, you try to, if you're doing this, like if you're trying to look for your your previous friend's vibe in this person, then that's going to be very difficult.
Right.
It's like either you have to be very accepting of whoever is coming in their nature,
Yeah.
or like, just let it be, just accept it, these are the set of friends,
Yes.
and it's not going to happen again. Like,
Yes.
the same vibe is not going to come.
Right.
And if I'm not okay with that vibe, so let it be, like, I'm satisfied.
Correct. And that, I think, comes with age. Like,
Yes.
as you grow up, you finally realize what you just said. So, yeah.
But also, if you choose to open up, like open yourself up to like welcome a different vibe, even then it is quite possible. Even then, that makes it fun. So as you said that, you are enjoying your work currently, but
Yeah.
at the same time you are noticing there are issues at workplace, like, where there are mostly male managers, or there is this glass ceiling effect.
Right.
So how are you managing? How are you keeping that calm and not
That's-
getting bothered by it?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, basically, what we have in our company is once or twice in a year we have we say H1 and H2. That is the first half and the second half of the year. So, what we have are these awards and applauses. Okay, where we are, where we can show it to the people, where everyone gets to know the people who are getting the awards and achievements, like, oh, she has achieved this or he has achieved that. So, to participate in that also, we have to slog it out. But on the other hand, we also have something known as where we can nominate ourselves, that okay, this is the project I have been working on, and these are the challenges I have faced, and then this is what I've achieved out of it. So, just I'll give you a recent incident where I received an award. So, it was basically like I worked on an application which was the company's application itself. And first we used to use Google Forms, which also had a way of, exposing our customers, because we used to give those form out to the customers to fill in their details, so the details were getting exposed and everything. So we already had some application that in the company itself. So I put forth that point, and then we, like, basically we came through we found out a way through where we could send out those forms instead, and completely eradicated Google Forms. So there was no exposing after that, or no of them getting into our customers' details. So this was a project, but also that app needed the whole developing of the form and the testing and everything. So I worked in the first half of that, and then I nominated myself. I received an award, and that's how like people got to know, ki, oh, this girl, she has achieved this. So that's how I stood out in the company, and that's how I did not care about what, oh, the men were getting the dominance, or the men were getting everything and the women were not. So there are women like me who work their way through this, because we know we are talented, we know we can achieve things equally as men. And this is how I came out of it. Like, I made myself stand out there. Like, people now in the company know me, and then they will trust me. So that's how you build trust and you move forward.
Right. So, over here, what I'm seeing is there are two factors involved. One is the confidence that you have, that is enabling you to do all this.
Yep.
And the second thing is the company is giving you that freedom of speech.
Right.
That opportunity to speak up.
Yes.
So that is also one great thing the company is doing on the company's part. But yes, the confidence. Do you think that the confidence is coming from the way, where you were brought up, the boarding school?
Definitely, that is where I have grown up. That is where I have started to know things, understand things. So of course that has been the biggest support, where I have grown with people, and also learned how to be confident. Also learned how I'm able to achieve, I'll be able to achieve anything. And also learn how to struggle, how to pave your way through. So definitely boarding school has given me a lot of confidence, and that's how I am still standing strong. you can
It
say.
also teaches you a lot how to adjust,
Yeah.
how
Yes,
to
yes.
just blend into a particular setting.
Right.